Hi, Trader Tina here, once again from ShortMeTina.com with my daily recap. March Blitz continues. It's been about 23 days since I've been doing video analysis like I promised, a video every single day for the week of March with the exception of the weekends. Just so I can get back into a rhythm. Next month I may not do videos every single day. I'll probably just stick to like a once a week schedule, but the fact that I've been doing it every single day for the month of March, I've kind of like reacclimated myself to getting at the computers and doing videos. So I'm not going to really talk about the equity markets today. You kind of know my stance, and if you don't, just check any video that I've done for the past 2 or 3 weeks. It kind of tells you, how I am reading the market. I wanted to talk about crypto because it seems as though there's somewhat of a sell-off, or at least for the last few trading days. And the thing that I don't like about the crypto market is I feel like it kind of trades at times in sync with the equities market. So the markets have experienced a pullback within the last few trading days, and such is the case with cryptos, and they all kind of trade like one big like tech company, right? If Bitcoin is down, chances are the other altcoins are down, and that's one of the things I don't like about the crypto market. But with that said, I'm actually up well over 1,000% in the last year. So you take the good with the bad. Anyway, so to Bitcoin, pulled back. We're off. I didn't get to do the percentage, so someone do it for me. We topped out north of 62,000. We've pulled back about 10,000. So we're trading here at around 52,000. And so you ask yourself, well, is that it? Is the Bitcoin run over? Obviously, you really never know, and that's really the honest answer. You don't know. But you look at history. History for me, it's an indicator. It's not predictive, but it does sort of give you insight. So for me, the fact that Bitcoin went from absolutely nothing or pennies to trading at 62,000 in about 10 years, it kind of says to me that the potential run can continue with pullbacks along the way. And cryptocurrencies, in particular Bitcoin, no stranger to those 50, 60, 70, 80, even 80% decline. So being off about 10,000, right? Being off a bit from the highs isn't, in my opinion, anything to fuss about. So a couple of things. One, right? This is a chart, daily chart that goes back to 2017, so about 3 years. I'm starting at the point that Bitcoin topped out in 2017 and its subsequent 2 to 3 year bear market, right? You can see here the last, since bottoming out in March, again, like the equities market, Bitcoin really has been on a tear. It went from a low of around a little north of 4,000 to 60-something thousand in a year. You can see here again, rounding bottom, in my opinion, very bullish pattern. We revisit that 2017 high of around 20,000. It took us about 3 years to get there and finally broke free. And when it broke free, it was actually no stopping it. It went from 20 to 60,000, and we've pulled back some to 52,000. So for me, a healthy correction, like I indicated in a previous video, a healthy correction would get Bitcoin somewhere around here, around that, in my opinion, that 47, 48,000 mark, right? Now, does that mean that it's not going to go any lower? It's going to hold? Again, I don't know, right? There's a likelihood that it can break, and if it does, will I let go of all my coins? Absolutely not. Like I've said before, with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, I don't trade in and out. I usually buy in increments, and I usually use those 50, 60, 70% declines to like add more. That has been my strategy since I got into the market about 4 years ago. So all the coins that I've added some along the way. I can't say I have the same amount from 4 years ago. I've definitely added along the way, and I've added newcomers. But so back to the issue at hand, Bitcoin, we're off a little. I can see us getting a bump at around 47, 48. A swifter, deeper correction would be right back to this initial breakout base of around 20,000. If that happens, I would not worry. I would be adding hand over fist, because I know a lot of people, when they saw Bitcoin around 30,000, was kind of upset that they didn't get in. They saw it at 40,000, upset they didn't get in. Saw it at 50,000, upset they didn't get in. Saw it at 60,000, upset they didn't get in. So now here you're once again, and the markets, all markets, always give you multiple opportunities to get in. So, if it pulls back 10, 15, 20% more, look at your portfolio to see if cryptocurrency deserves a spot in there. And again, like me, I've been adding in increments, and I've encouraged everyone that I know that wants to get into the market to consider adding in increments, obviously not putting your whole life savings on the line. Anyway, what else? Bottom line, I like Bitcoin. I see it at 100,000. I like it. What else? All right, XRP, we have Ripple. This is a monthly chart. We're trading it around a little north of 50 cents. So everyone, well, not everyone, you should know by now that right now XRP has some sort of a case with the SEC, whether or not it's actually equities or a stock or crypto. Like, it's just super confusing. And I think, the case that they have going on right now with the SEC has actually sort of stunted or hampered the growth that we've seen in other crypto markets, right? In other words, like, if Ripple wasn't going through what they're currently going through with the SEC, I feel like obviously we would be trading at much higher levels, right? And so Ripple was one of those currencies. And you know what? Side note, when I bought this, I did not under any circumstances think I was buying a stock. I very well much so believed that I was buying a crypto and a cryptocurrency or a token. And I feel like a lot of other folks actually felt that way. So how is this going to play out and resolve itself? Honestly, I don't know. But when you're dealing in these sort of speculative markets, you always want to ensure that you're positioning yourself that if this does go bust and things don't work out in our favor, which I highly doubt, but in the event that things don't work out in our favors, you want to mitigate the damage, right? You don't want to be losing too much. So anyway, Ripple, I kind of got into Ripple back in 2017. I think I bought it when it was trading at like definitely under $1. I saw the run up to 330, did not take profits. So I pulled all the way back to around this 10, 20 cents mark. And I was just, again, adding along the way. Even when it got to around most recently 78 cents, 80 cents, I did not unload. Even knowing that, it was going to stop trading on Coinbase, and Coinbase, to its credit, gave you ample notice, I believe weeks in advance. Even knowing all of that, I opted to keep my coins, keep my tokens, to just sort of ride this out. So let's say that things resolve itself in a favorable manner. We're actually setting up, in my opinion, for a very explosive move, right? So this is a monthly chart going back to 2017, so about 4 years worth of data. And you can see here, similar to Bitcoin, you can see like that rounding bottom, right? Everything is a rounding bottom for me, right? So you can see that sort of rounding bottom formation, or that sideways action formation. And you can see here that it's looking like it wants to revisit previous highs of around north of $1. Again, if things resolve itself favorably from a technical perspective, we're setting up for a massive breakout. And without a doubt, I 100% believe we're going to retest previous highs, right? Let me draw that line here, that we experienced back in 2018 around 330. So quite a bit of upside from this 48 cents level. I definitely think at some point we're going to hit 330 and beyond. Again, Ripple did not get a chance to experience that appreciation that other currencies have appreciated or have experienced in the last couple of months because of what's going on with the SEC. So if that resolves itself in a favorable manner, I think, it will give investors the opportunity to jump in. And I can see this definitely getting back to the previous 2018 highs of around 330 and beyond. So for me, huge upside, if you can actually ride this out. So full disclaimer, full disclosure, I am invested in Ripple and Bitcoin, and have intentions on adding with any sort of pullback. All right, what else? All right, let's speed it up. I've spent about 7 minutes talking about Bitcoin and Link. I have one or two more on the agenda. Well, Bitcoin and Ripple, I've spent the last 8 minutes, so let's make it quick with Link. My biggest winner, I would say, my biggest winner, I think I got into Chainlink when it was trading in the low ones, and I've held throughout. It's a daily chart. We're sitting here at $24. Most recently, we topped out at $36.92, north of 40. I did not unload. Remember, my strategy is not to trade in and out, but it's to build a large or a sizable position over the course of time, adding in increments and, you know, holding for that huge payday. I mean, one might say, well, Tina, you just said that your portfolio is up 1,000% in a year. That's not a huge payday. It is, but, you know, going back to sort of the late great, well, there've been a lot of greats. There've been like tons and tons of greats, but all-time favorite, Jesse Livermore. You know, you definitely want to hold on if your stock is doing what it needs to do. Paraphrasing. Anyway, so, and this is not a stock, but you get what I'm saying. So daily chart dating back to 2020, similar rounding bottom formation. You can see the breakout here at around $20, 100% increase or north of 100%, topping out at 36, and we're pulling back. So the video that I did a couple of days ago, I talked about, right, so if this was a stock, right, and I was trading it, I would have gotten out here when it broke this upward trend line, right? Because this signals danger. You can see it here. It broke the trend line, confirming volume. So this just says people are unloading, which is fine. And so I said, well, based on this, I can see it pulling back to around that $20 mark. And for me, that would be, based on the technical chart, a good area to go long, because this $20 area once served as resistance back in 2020. So hopefully it can now serve as support or a bottom. So sitting here at 25, while I'm bullish on Link and I can see it getting to around 50, I would not be surprised if it shed another $5 or so in the upcoming weeks or months. All right, still like Chainlink, see it as a $50 coin, but based on what I'm seeing here, it might be on its way to around $20. All right, what else? All right, let's finalize it with TRON. It's off about 1.4%, trading a little under 6 cents. And again, another one of these coins that I bought in 2016, somewhere around there. In the profit, but TRON has been a huge underperformer. Honestly, I'm not quite sure why I'm still holding it. It's one of those coins that will be lifted, or should have, let me say this. I was going to say that it should be lifted, right, with the other coins. But if you look at its performance relative to other cryptocurrencies or tokens like the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, the Ripples, the Chainlinks, it's been a huge, in my opinion, underperformer. It's sitting under 6 cents. It had a bit of momentum going the other day, getting to 6 cents, and I thought it was actually going to build on that, and I saw a short-term projection to 10 cents. But we're here, we've pulled back to under 6 cents, and again, it's been quite a disappointment. I'm still holding it, and the reason I'm holding it is because, well, I don't have, my strategy is to not trade in and out, but to hold a certain amount of coins at a certain percentage, etc. So a part of my strategy is not to trade in and out. But with TRON, again, relative to the others, it's been a huge underperformer. Got a little bit of momentum the other day, saw it going to 10 cents. It didn't happen as fast as I thought that it would. It does not necessarily mean that I don't think that this is going to appreciate. I think at some point it's going to get its legs. It's going to find its footing, and we can see this at, 10, 20, perhaps even 30 cents. But right now, that's not the case. You know, and if you look at the technical chart too, again, this is a daily chart. If you look at the technicals, it's not performing poorly, right? You can see here, this goes back to 2020. Although this, you know, this particular coin has a much longer history, it's just hard to find, but we'll just work with what we have. So this chart here, Kraken, going back to 2020, you can see the uptrend here, followed by a period of consolidation, which is always good, right? So let me do that. Do this so you can see a visual uptrend, right? Uptrend, consolidation, and uptrend, right? And so what I would want to see now, right, to keep this going would be a period of consolidation. So if you kind of want to like, you know, on some levels follow this, then you would want to see TRON, in my opinion, trade between these 2 points for quite some time. It could even be a few weeks. It doesn't have to be years. And then once it breaks out, another uptrend, right? So if it continues to do that, we're on the right path, right? Uptrend, consolidation, right? Uptrend, consolidation, uptrend. All right, so if it can continue to do that, you're on the right footing. However, if TRON kind of like crashes down and you see it trading in this area, that like 2 cents to like 4 cents area, then the story becomes a little bit weaker to me. All right, hope that makes sense. Do me a solid and comment in the comment section if it does. Comment in the comment section if it doesn't. And let's kind of cap it there at crypto. Tina here once again from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of that video, do a few things for me. 1, like and comment. Share. It's super helpful to get the word out. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we're hosting a free 14-day trading course on our website where I essentially talk about the things that I've learned trading for the last 20 or so years. It's allowed me to go from being super inconsistent to consistent, going from not making money to making money. And I talk about methods that I use to this very day, you know, like little tips and tricks that have allowed me to navigate and manage the market without losing my mind, right? You definitely don't want to lose your mind or your wallet. So anyway, if that's something that you're interested in, definitely head on over to our website, ShortMeTina.com. Sign up, become a member. Thank you for listening. And as always, thank you for the support. March Blitz continues tomorrow, the 25th. We're almost done with this week, and I'm almost done with the month of March. Talk to you tomorrow.